Hey everybody, this is Melina from ScrapbookingwithME.com and Me Crafty Scrapper here on YouTube and Instagram. Today we are going to try to finish up our junk journal we have made from the Daphne's Diary April 2022 edition magazine. And I'm very excited with where this is all going because it looks really good. I love making new things out of something else that might be just thrown away. So if you've got just a regular magazine sitting around the house that's got some pretty images in it, you don't necessarily have to have a Daphne's Diary magazine or catalog. You can make your junk journal with any type of anything that you would like, but with this series we've been making one with a catalog or magazine. So I have been a fussy cutting machine and I have cut out all kinds of images from the magazine. So I've got, look how cute this little tea bag is with the tea tag on it. Little teapots, pots of tea, and then cup of tea. And then this, I've got all kinds of little stuff. So there's my tea kind of themed stuff up there. I have birds and I have florals. Look at that, how pretty. Would be very, very pretty on the edges of some pages. So there's some florals. I got that little shovel. Well, I say little. This one's a big shovel. Got that cut out. My wheelbarrow over here. And then these are those images that I showed you in, I think, the last video. Let me find the name of the company. This is from KateCrafts.com, KateCrafts.com, and she also has an Etsy shop, Kate Crafts Store on Etsy. We're in a Facebook group together, and she offered some freebies, and that was the free little sheet of digitals. That's something also from her sheet of digitals. This is out of the magazine, and this is out of the magazine. I thought I could really rough this up and separate it and then have the rooster beside it somewhere, and maybe on two different pages. I like that little poem that was in there. And then these, I thought I could trim top and bottom and put my own word label there. Those are very pretty. I just don't know which. I really want to use that side of that one and probably that side of that one. So I would need something pretty big to cover that up. And we're going to trim those off. So there are those. And then they have these little postcards in the magazine too for April, and I thought those were gorgeous, and we could use those somewhere in the book. And then other little this and that images. So that is one of my biggest tips on when you're wanting to fill up a journal. Go ahead and fussy cut some stuff and get ready to put your journal together. So if you just got this magazine and you've got your cover done and you've putting in your signature in the middle, all your pages, and then you still just have this magazine, it's going to be overwhelming. So if you'll just go ahead and start fussy cutting images out, then that's going to help you along the way, and it's not going to be as overwhelming. For this print right here, I'm going to use my tear ruler, and I'm going to get me just a little strip. Oh, I really like that to finish off that cover. That is pretty. I like that. Let's look at this one. I like either one, but I think I like that one a little bit better. So let's use that one there. We will save this, and we might can use that somewhere else in our journal. I'm going to go ahead and trim off toward the edges of this and then trim it down to fit, and we can use this somewhere also. There and there. So we've got that to use somewhere. We could use, make a belly band or something out of that. So I really like the font in this magazine. I'm going to put this off to the side because I have trimmed a lot of what I need already. That is from a page in the magazine, and I'm going to back it with this paper. I love that watercolor look. I'm not too keen on the birds. They're a little too cartoony for me, so I'm going to figure out a way to put this as a background and cover up one of the pages in my journal. So I'm going to put my tear ruler up, and I believe I will get my ink around this. Okay, then I'm going to get my glue and go ahead and put it down on this blue cardstock I've got on my cover. I love that on the cover. That is so pretty and brings it together quite well. I still think though it needs a little something else. So maybe if I can find a butterfly or another floral image of some kind. Okay, so I really like that, and that's just fussy cut from the edge of one of the pages in the magazine. I really like that. And then let's brown this image up a little bit of this butterfly that come off of the printable, because it's a little too black. There's nothing else on my cover that's that stark bold. So let's do that. I like that, and maybe leave the leaves and put it down here at the bottom. That's pretty. I like that. I do think though I need to get some of my colors and color this butterfly up just a little bit. So let's look at our Arteza, however you want to say it. I have the 36 count of the water-based ink, and I think they're the felt tips. Yep. So I'm just going to go through here and put just a little bit of color in some of the spots on this butterfly. Now on this printable, I printed this on 110-pound cardstock. So I've got a really good base, and I love these colors, and they go on really, really well. Pretty. Okay, let's make sure that we're going along with the colors that are on our cover. Let's do, I need a dark blue, but that sure does look purple. That looks purple too. Let's do this on a scrap piece of paper. Yeah, let's try this one. Yep, I like that color blue better, so let's go to that one. And I'm just coloring in a few places and trying to stay in the lines of the wings. And a dark green, that's pretty. And then I'm just going to go all over the top of this butterfly with this pink. This is a different pink than what I used earlier. All over the top, all around the edges where I've fussy cut it out. and then all over the distress ink that I used in the very beginning, and then all over the colors that I added in just here and there. And I'm going to mute those up just a little bit, but I'm just going to color all over with this pink felt pen. So see, my colors are showing through, but not too much, so it's not something too bold that I'll add to the cover. And let's just finish coloring over with this. I had no idea that when I started this video that I would be coloring butterfly images, but there we are. I'm going to get my white stain and make a big blob of white on my butterfly that I didn't want to do. I'm just going to go with it though. Okay, I'm going to get my rag and blot over the top of it. I really like the mixed media look of that, so I'm going to go around the edges with my white gel pen and just kind of, like I was doing distress inking around the edges, but just kind of putting an outline on my butterfly. And then I promise we'll move to something else to do on on this journal. Okay, so there is our butterfly after we have altered it, and I really like that. I love the mixed media look to it. And let's go ahead and glue down this vine that we cut out, and then we're going to put down the butterfly probably just down the middle of it so that the wings can kind of move around. And yes, it will be delicate, but we'll be delicate with the journal. Let's just do one little blob in the middle and place it where we want to, off to the side a little bit. And then of course, you know, when you're putting things on your covers of your journal, you don't want to put anything that will be harmed by opening and closing. So that this butterfly is, you know, in a good spot. It's not going to get destroyed by the spine or anything like that. We're moving that back and forth. So I'm going to have to turn the volume off on my phone because everybody keeps going in and out of the door, and my alarm keeps showing me who's going in and out of the door on my phone, so I'm having to turn that off. So I really like that. I think I want to put some faux stitch marks around the edge of the journal. I'm going to get my Sharpie pen, the black barrel pen, one of my favorite ones that Sharpie has ever come out with. And I'm just doing some little stitch lines and really just keeping that in where I have already distress inked, so it's not too bold. But this is really thick. I don't have like the quilting needle for my sewing machine, so I wouldn't be able to do this with my sewing machine. Now if you do, you could do this easily, but my cover is quite thick. So I'm just going around putting my little faux stitches, and this cover is a little bit, it's got a sheen to it. I wouldn't call it glossy, but it does have a sheen to it, so you'll have to let the Sharpie dry, but with it being Sharpie, it will. You couldn't use a regular water-based marker to do this. So there's my stitch marks, and as soon as that is dry, I'll go around and do it on the back of the journal too, the back cover. And there is the stitch marks around the back. My lighting is really washing that out. Okay, now before I start decorating any of the pages that we already have in here, I want to add this paper in there somewhere as pages. So I like the rough edge here. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is get my trimmer and cut this in half, and we'll have 2 more pages added to this journal, and they'll be little short pages, so it'll give the journal a little bit of more dimension to it. And of course, since we haven't sewn in the signature, we can move things around as we want to. I've already added a couple little things on pages that I want to put there, so that's why that's like that. Let's do one of these here. I'm gonna fold it in half, okay, and then I'm going to add that just like that all the way to the fold, and there's a little extra page there. I love how that looks. So let's fold this one in half, and this was just a page out of the back of that journal, I mean the back of that magazine. I think it goes up like that. I don't guess it really matters, but I like it like that. You can see the bottom of that butterfly whale right there. Look how pretty that is, just up against that blue food color page that we had put in there. And you can round the corners if you want to. Just a beautiful way to add beauty to your journals without doing too much. You don't have to decorate every page in your journal. I love that. Okay, so in the front here, I want to add, just simply because this is a beautiful page, I love that, just really simple here, I want to add one of these little rabbits that come from the printable page. I love that, and I don't think I'm even going to ink. It's just pretty as is. I fussy cut it out. I'm going to glue it down, and then we're going to find a word label, and we're going to put a word label along probably the bottom half of the little rabbit. And this one had purple flowers in it, so it matches that quite well. Wipe off the excess glue, and then let's find a word label. I knew I would have something in my Tim Holtz stash, so let's look here what we've got. I like this one. It says, "Let life surprise you." Too cute. So maybe, yep, I like it just here at the bottom of the little rabbit. And I'm going to lean that up so I can make sure to kind of get it straight. There we go. So easy decoration there on that first page. We're going to make some tags to go down in these pockets here. This page I want to pretty much cover up. I like that font, but it is going sideways and you don't get the full story about the tour. So let's just go ahead and cover it up. I like this here, like that. So what I'm going to do is figure out how I want this on here. and then trim around that. I'm going to just glue this down to this and then trim around it to put on that page. So let's do it about there, and then we can have a little bit of that font showing back behind this whenever we put it down. And then we'll see if we need to add anything else to it whenever we get it put down. Okay, so I just need a little bit cut off of the bottom and the top. So I'm going to pull my trimmer out from under everything else I have on the side of my desk over here. And we're just going to trim off a little spot on top. And then a little spot on the bottom. And then that goes on there well with a, you know, little mat back behind it of the actual page. So I like that. Let's put this over here and these over here. I'm getting a little crowded on my right side. Okay, and we can go ahead and glue this down on this page. Now, when you are decorating your journal, every page does not have to be functional as far as pockets and things like that. You can just decorate pages. It can be an art journal / writing journal. Every page does not have to have room to write on, you know. So I like that, and we don't have to add anything else to that. I think I'm going to, this was just part of that page that I kind of tore around the floral image. I'm going to ink that slightly. And then I will add it on just at the top all the way down, and then at the bottom a little bit, and make it kind of like a little tuck space if we want to use it as that. Thought that was very cute. So I wanted to use that somewhere in my journal, and it matches. And then we're going to just add our little wheelbarrow to the edge or bottom edge of the page, like so. And now if you have little pieces, little die cuts, or if you want to fold up some coffee dyed paper, you have a little tuck space here. And it was just an extra part of a page that you tore off from something else. So there is the first two pages, pretty much done as far as decorating goes. I really like all the little sails we got when we dyed this paper, so I don't want to cover up too much of that, but we could add just something on the edge of the page and still leave room to journal. How about this with our little heart like that? I like that. Let's ink this. And then glue that down. Ink the edges of our heart from the printable. And glue that down. See, just simple ways to decorate. You do not have to go all out and make all kinds of elaborate things to go in your journals. It can just be simple stuff, little quotes from magazines, things like that. I love how this looks, and I don't want to cover up any of that because it's so pretty. So I'm going to leave that as is, and this page also, so that there can be plenty of journaling done in this journal. Last video we did this little tuck here, so we've got room for our little postcards if we want to do that. I love that one in there. Let's see if any of these other ones look any better. That purple is very pretty in that. I like that there. And it's still, I think I want to trim it down just a little bit. It's not in the fold, but if it moves in the slightest, it will be. So let's trim this a little bit all around. And then add that in there, and see, we got plenty of space. So that is gorgeous. I love how that looks. Little pull out journal on that. It's got that on the back, and we could cover that up with some coffee dyed paper later. Don't have to do that right this moment. This piece, I love the polka dots, and I love that it went with this purple on this page. So we can just trim this up, and it can be a belly band. So let's just go ahead and glue it. I'm going to go here and here with my glue, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that down, scooch it over just a little bit so it's kind of in the middle. Okay, then flip this over. I'm going to get my sticky scissors here, and we're going to trim off the bottom and the top. That's just easier for me. So now we have this nice little belly band here that we can add all kinds of things behind, like another postcard if we wanted to. That's a very busy 2 pages, but I really like that. Very pretty. Yep, I'm going to leave that like that, and maybe we can add some little something here to this middle. Ooh, I like that. And just glue it down the middle. We can ink that. Let's pull this out and show you what it would look like without that behind it. Very pretty. Let's ink this. And I just tore around this image. I did not use my scissors on this. Just tore. So I like how that looks. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of eyeball the middle, put me some glue down just on the belly band, and then go back behind where I need to as far as keeping that down without it going over the belly band and getting on the page. So there's our cute as a button little belly band, and put our postcard back behind it. Too cute. I love those 2 pages. Those are my favorite 2 pages so far. Okay. Very pretty progress so far in our book. Lovely, lovely. Okay, so for this page and this page, I'm thinking maybe we could do another little piece of something on this one, just to kind of break this up It's very busy. And then this is kind of like a balcony here, and there's a little something there that I would like to just cover up, but I love the chandelier right there, and then this little light fixture here, so maybe just there on the edge. Okay, I think what I will do is this little poem that I had talked about beforehand, and I'm going to break it up by just tearing and do the whole poem across these 2 pages. So, you know, kind of willy-nilly back and forth. And then we'll have our rooster image over here somewhere in between some of them, after we get everything trimmed out with this poem. I really like this as far as adding it to the bottom. Okay, this is kind of like nothing, it's just a wall right here, so we could add that one there, this one over that little spot that I wanted to get covered up. I like how that looks on the bottom there. And then maybe have the rooster sitting on top of one of these pieces here, like so. Let's trim this off just a little bit more so we can have some space. I like that. So let's go ahead and ink our edges. We are inking today with Vintage Photo, and I'm going to kind of, as I go, trim out a little bit more. I like how that one goes up like that, so I'm going to leave that as is on top, and like that. I'm going to go around all of these, trimming a little bit as I go, and then we'll come back and put the rooster on and see how this little 2-page spread looks. Alright, we've got all of our little poem put down the way we want it, and then we're going to put our little rooster down here, and all this came from the magazine. Now the back side of this page, I'm thinking I want to do a little top corner tuck here. I'm going to trim the top of this off. I won't need that. And then if I do this in half, corner to corner, like so, let's look. This is a little bit thicker than just the magazine is, so it's not just regular paper. I like that. And we can add a little image of some kind. What about that bird we trimmed out earlier? Look at that. How cute. I love that. Let's ink slightly around the bird, and then ink the edges of our top tuck. Okay, I'm just going to put glue at the top and that back side like that, and put it at the top of our page like so. And then I'm just going to put some glue here and cover up that wording, and have the bird kind of hang off the edge. Let's see if we need to straighten him up any. Nope. We do need, though, to put some glue back behind his head right here. just to make sure he stays put. And then let's put some glue behind his tail too. So then we have a nice little top tuck that we can add some coffee dyed paper or a journal card or whatever back behind. See, just like that. We can add our stuff. I love that. I think I'll leave that like that. And then we could just make it all matchy-matchy and use the bottom piece over here. And we want lots of journaling on this page, so we won't decorate it up too much over here, but we'll have a little tuck in the bottom corner if we want to add a tag or something like that. So all the way, two sides, and then just add that on. And we can go back, because the corners are rounded, we can go back and trim that if we want to. Okay, and then this little image with the plants and the nice little farmhouse faucet looks very cute. So I think I will add that here, just like that, and cover up those words. And I can kind of get it straight by corner to corner here. Hold it up and make sure that looks right, and then make sure we've got glue back behind the whole image so it doesn't come off anywhere, like that. And then make sure we don't have any glue on the page. And there's our little bottom tuck there. We could add whatever we would like, but there's another postcard in that one. And then we've got two pretty plain, they still have some really nice sales and stuff that we got whenever we were coloring or dyeing these papers. I know what we could do. We could add this with that little rabbit at the bottom. We could add this as a top flip and use some of that washi that we used in that earlier video where we made a flip out. We could do this one as a flip up. So let's go ahead and ink the edges. I tore this with my tear ruler. I'll go ahead and ink all the edges of it. And then we've got this on the back. I'm good with that. It doesn't have to be all decorated on the back side. You're mostly always just going to see that top side anyway. I'm going to put just a little bit of glue down here and piece on our little rabbit image. And then make sure to add more glue as needed. Put some back behind its little ear here. Okay. Put it on like this, and then we're going to have some washi at the top. Like so. Just easy, nothing too hard. Then we're going to flip that up and we're going to put more washi on the back side. Once I find where I stopped, there we go. And with this, I always wonder, should I put it with that? Should I put it with this? You're going to be looking at it like this. So I say put it like that. Just like that. And then we're going to flip it back. And there's our little flip up there on that page. And you can cover that up if you want to with some copy paper or coffee dyed paper, and then you've got all that space to write on there as well. We could make this a little tuck space here at the bottom of this page, but I like this a little bit better for this page, so I'm thinking middle of the page here, and have it be a tuck space for you could put a tag or something like that. So let's ink the edges. This is also a piece that I tore with my tear ruler. And then I'm going to put glue about halfway on the top, all the way down that side, and then halfway across the bottom. This is an easy way to cover up some nicks too that you might have in your pages. So when you're dyeing paper, sometimes you get some little torn edges and stuff. So like on this page, I had that torn edge. Well, when I put that on there, no more torn edge can be seen. It's like a little band-aid for your page. So there you have space to put something there, a little tuck there on that page. Lovely. Then we have this page, this little half page that we put in, and then we have two plain pages, but I'm thinking I might like to leave one of them as is. Let us see. I decided to come to the back page. I want to add this little rabbit. You remember at the very beginning we added that rabbit on there. I want to add this one here. I want to ink around. This came from that digital. And let's just glue on. And then we'll add another word label or two to the top of that. I like this. If you're lucky enough to be different, never change. I love that. So we're going to just clip it there, and then the other just right below it, but off to the edge. Cute. Alright, now let's get back to where we were. I just saw that big bunny and I thought, let's go ahead and use that. I like the tulips there on that page, even though that is floral. It's not too busy. I like that, so let's just put that on as a decoration. Doesn't have to be a functional page. There is plenty of room to write on this page. Black ink will show up perfectly well on this page. I think I might need to move that over just a little bit like that. There we go. Just simple decoration on that page. And remember, we did this one in the video previous of this one. I don't know what I want to do on these two, so I'm going to move on. We'll come back to it. Remember, this is the middle of our signature. It's got that lace down the middle there, and then we made that pocket there, so we can make some tags to go in there. I love that there. Cup of tea. And maybe a little teapot on top of it somewhere. like that, and then have the bigger teapot. That is just a gorgeous image from a magazine, y'all. I'm just going to put that at the top of this page. And then I've got 2 more tea images, and we'll use those somewhere too. But I really like these. For these 2 pages, I'm going to ink just the top of this teapot so that it can be seen a little better, and then I'm going to ink my torn edges here, and then my little teapot perched on top, and that's all the decoration I think it needs. Let me wipe this off a little bit here. Let's go back, make sure, yep. Okay, and then here are 2 pages with that beautiful half sheet there. We've already got a tuck space, little pocket there. So I'm wanting to say I want to leave those alone, just like I wanted to leave these alone. That's like the cousins to those pages. Alright, I took a break before I started just throwing stuff on the pages. Sometimes I have to stop, calm, and regroup to try and figure out how I want to do more of the pages. So that's what I had to do. I am going to trim that out, and my cutter decided not to be nice to that paper. It is thin, so just going to go around manually a little bit. I'm going to make a big pocket on this one page here. So I'm going to pull this page out a little bit. See, that's the beauty of not having it permanently in the book yet. And we can add pages to it if we want to. I love that. Which you can still do that if you sew in a signature. It's just not going to be in the spine. You can add pages like a flip out and stuff like that, but you can't add more pages to the spine after you've sewed it in. So I like this idea that Nina Ribena had of just, like I said, she used elastic cord, but I used some lace. So we have just cut out one of the pages from the Daphne's Diary magazine. And I've cut it to the size that I want it to be. And I'm going to just glue it in like this. And I will show you, while I took myself a little break, I cut some cardstock, just random craft and cream colored cardstock, and I made just a few plain tags with that cardstock because we are very busy. It's busy patterns and stuff in this book. I like that pretty pocket. And so I decided to just make some little, plainer tags with some ribbon. I just pulled out a big bag of ribbon out of one of my drawers that has been in there for years and years, and just decided to make a couple of random tags that we can put down in that pocket. Cute, cute. I like that. So I'm just going to kind of randomly tear a little bit on this side. Y'all have to excuse Aaron Jonas if you hear him in the background. He is having some more allergy problems. The privet bushes around our house that are not on our property, because if they were, we would so burn them. Privet bushes and the honeysuckle are blooming, and that makes for a pretty miserable springtime around our house. It's just how it is. We should really go to the doctor for an allergy shot, but I just don't like going to the doctor. Even though I really know my doctor well, I've went to him since I was a teenager. My kids go to him. They've went to him ever since they were pretty much born. I just don't like going to the doctor. It seems like when I go to the doctor's office, I get sicker. When I come home, I get sicker because I've been around so many sick people. I don't like it. Alright, so next page is my beloved coffee page that I love so much. When I put in this signature, if you will remember, I want to cover up this fire hydrant. So I thought this little cutout that I did from the magazine would go well because it's talking about a coffee machine, a broken coffee machine joke, and then it's got that coffee on there. And so I'm going to make just a little bitty pocket about midways on this page. And I'm just going to put some double-sided tape, bottom and sides, and then that will make for a very tiny tag to go in this, but I'm okay with that. I think these might be just barely too wide. I will figure something out. I have more little card. Oh yeah, that one works well. Okay, let's round our corners and ink. And let's just do a little piece of something at the top, and we can just staple that to the top with our little Tim Holtz tiny attacher, my favorite stapler of all times. And then I just kind of yank on it, and if it feels like that's not going to hold very long, I put in another one on top. Now look at that, how cute. My coffee word is still showing. There's another little pocket that we've made on the center of a page, and I just love it. This page is going to be very simple. This is some of those plants that I just kind of tore around. I'm going to tear a little bit more there, just to get that point off of there. And here, yep, I like that better. Let's round that a little bit more. There we go. I'm going to ink the edges of this and make it a little tuck spot on this page, and there will still be plenty of room for writing. Let's go around this side, and we are just going to put a line down there, and then we need to hold it in, so a line at the bottom, and maybe just a little bit of a notch at the top just to hold the stuff in quite well. I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom. And I've had a few ask, with the new microphone, you are hearing a light humming in the back, and it doesn't start at the beginning of my videos. That is my computer fan, and I have nowhere else to put my new microphone except right here. You can see the shadow of my microphone right here, and I have nowhere else to put my microphone except right in front of my computer. Here's the stand of my computer here, and that is the fan on it. So we need that little bit of hum. If we don't have it, then my computer overheats and we can't make video. So we want to hear that hum. Yay! So that answers that. I'm good with that as far as that being the only decoration that we have on that page. We can put in all sorts of little goodies into that, and it holds really well. One of these tall tags could even go in a little sideways or just like that if we wanted it to. So there's a little tuck, or you can just glue it all the way down and write all around it, and it's just a decoration on that page. So that's always fun. These two pages are just going to have decoration, no functioning pockets or anything. I love this very delicate, intricate, if I can speak American, I don't know, flowers that I fussy cut out, and I took lots of time fussy cutting these out. So they are going in this journal somewhere. But they're beautiful. And I want to use them in the journal, but I just thought while I was cutting it out, it took forever. And I thought, if you do not use this in that journal, I'm going to beat you up myself. I said to myself. So, there is that. Is that not gorgeous? Too pretty. Love it, love it. Alright, for this page, I'm going to add some of that washi tape that we've been using on our flip outs. I thought, why not use this beautiful washi tape on the edge of a page? I love that idea. So I thought, self, that's a really good idea. Thank you for coming up with that. And what I'm going to do on this side, I'm going to put it about half off the page, and then I'm going to flip it over and fold it over so you can see just the snippet of it on the other side of the page. And I'm okay with wrinkled washi tape. I got a little bit of a wrinkle there. I didn't go all the way up on that side, so I'm good, but on this bottom half I needed to trim that least little bit off. And then I'm going to add another piece on the page, just not all the way to top and bottom, just kind of randomly like so. And then I have these Hex Guns left over from another project, and they have florals in them that kind of match the floral that I put over there. So I'm going to ink each hexagon side, and then glue those down kind of randomly on top of this washi tape. Bless his heart, Aaron's in there just blowing that schnoz. Aaron also has a deviated septum from a wreck he had on a four-wheeler a few years back, the day after Thanksgiving. It was horrible. Just, he was pitiful. So from that broken nose he received from the wreck, now he has a deviated septum. So when he is blowing his schnoz, it is an Olympic event. And it's not, his doctor has looked at it, and it's not obstructing his breathing at all, really. It's just whenever he blows his nose, he has that issue, and he is not recommending surgery at this time, and I'm all for that because I really don't want him to have surgery at this time. I never want him to have surgery. He had his wisdom teeth cut out a few years back, and that was enough. He was so pitiful. He gets all weepy like his daddy when he has to have surgery. His daddy is so weepy. Sorry, babe, but you are. Alright, so let's see if we can find something that will go along with this. That's a little too abstract. That is way too abstract, I think, for that. I don't know. Does that go? That goes. Same colors and everything. So I'm good with that. And let's figure out if we've got something cut out already that we can add to the top of this. Okay, so I didn't even notice this sign stand when I was first looking through the magazine. I love these things. And I think I will rip that off. Let's see how that would look on there. I really like that. Yep. Oh, I love sign stands. I have not been to too many countries where they actually have these, though, which I haven't been out of the country much either. Only time I've been out of the country was on a cruise ship, and I plan to never go on one of those again. It was a horrible experience. Now, when we got to the destinations, lovely, beautiful. There was one little scary time that we had when we got off the ship at Cozumel. We had a little scary tour guide. Maybe he just did it just because he could, but he was quite scary. But other than that, we had very good experiences at the places where we docked. But while on the ship, I was sick as a dog, and I had prescription motion sickness medicine, like the patch on my arm. That made me even sicker. It was awful. I had the worst case of cotton mouth that I've ever experienced in my entire life. I would drink and drink and drink and drink water, and it never, my thirst was never quenched. It was horrible. And we hit rough water, so they had to divert our ship, and we had to go somewhere else. And so that was horrible. Because we had to go through a lot of the storm waters. It was just a terrible experience. But I'm a motion sickness kind of person. I get motion sick in the vehicle easily. People ask how in the world I ride in our RV across the nation singing, and it's all by God's grace. I'm telling you. That's the only way I make it. It's by His wonderful grace and mercy. That is it. I'm telling you. It's crazy how motion sick I do get. It's just unbearable sometimes. My mother, our mother, me and Alicia's mother, is even worse than I am as far as sickness goes. And that's where we get it. We get it honestly, that's for sure. Okay, I've made another little pocket while I've been jabbering on here. I'm going to ink around it. And here is another pocket that I made on this beautiful page. Remember, I didn't even want to cover up the page that has this on the other side of it, because it is so beautiful. But these pages have to have something on them. That's just gorgeous. I love that. And it still goes along with that, and I'm good, even though it's not the same type of flowers. I'm good. So this is just some random cardstock I had in my stash that I cut up, chopped away at to make some plain or plainer looking tags, because we've got enough busyness going on in this journal, I thought anyway. So be nice to have some plain looking tags that we can use as journaling spots. Okay, we're good on there. There's another little tag. Little pocket put in there. Cute. Alright, I think I will leave that page as is. Might put a little decoration on this page, but then we need to cover up this page. I do not like that at all. So we need to cover that up. And then we'll need to dress up some more tags to put in there. This is a book page from my food color dyeing session. I'm thinking just like this, and let's just chop it. Okay, I'm going to leave just a little bit of a mat of the page, because if I try to cover up the whole thing, it usually messes up. So I'm just going to make me a couple of nail marks. And trim there. Sorry, I just got a text from my daughter's teacher. She, as of the recording of this video, let's say I'm going to upload this video, I think, the day she graduates. So this video was recorded last week, and she was asking me a question, so I was trying to look at that and think on that while I'm thinking on this. Got lots going on, y'all. My mind can't keep up most days. It's big times in the Pylant family household. Got one graduating. She's graduating when she's 17, y'all. She started school when she was 4. I did not want her to start school when she did. Her daddy said that she was ready, and he wanted me to take her to the local public school and have her tested by the kindergarten teacher to see if she was. I reluctantly did so, and the kindergarten teacher looked up at me halfway through the testing and shook her head yes and said, "Yes, Mama, she's ready." So she is graduating when she is still 17 years old. So she won't turn 18 until August. And then Aaron Jonas turns 22 on June the 20th. So we're very excited for him, and he of course is very excited for himself, and he tells everybody I am almost 22 years old. He's very happy, very, very proud of that fact, and we are too. I mean, you know, when you are given, your child is given the diagnosis of autism, and I almost said when you're given, and it almost is like when you're raising a child with autism, and it's almost like you have been diagnosed with it too, because people are just cruel, and when they're cruel to your kids, that makes for some hard living. And anyway, we were told he may not make it past so and so age, and we just rebuked it, said no, we'll leave that up to the Lord. He'll take him when it's his time, but we're not going to listen to that. Same way we didn't listen to them telling us that he would never speak a true word, and he would never be able to function in society, and he would never look us in the eye, show us any kind of emotion, say I love you, know what compassion was, know what empathy was, stuff like that. We were told all of these things, and we just rebuked it all and took it to the Lord. So Oh, man. So, very, very fun times around the Pylant household right now. And we're trying to live our best life and live it for him. And, oh, we also have a secret trip planned for Bethany. By now, by the time this is airing, she knows already. Because we were going to tell her right before she graduates, so she already knows by now. But we are taking her to a secret destination, and it is on her bucket list. 17 years old and she has a bucket list. But we wanted to fulfill one of those. And it's just across the state line in LaGrange, Georgia. So we're very excited that we will be leaving tomorrow for that. So excited, excited. Whole family's going with her on her senior trip. And she loves it. I mean, we're not imposing on anything. She loves it. And we love that she loves it. That's a good feeling when your kids want to be with you, you know. I mean, how crazy is that our child wants us and loves the fact that we're going with her on her senior trip, you know. How blessed are we? Okay, I'm going to stop talking about all that stuff because I'll start crying. We are going to just decorate these 2 pages. While I was yammering on, I put on a little fussy cut rose on that side. And then this is just some of those words from one of the pages. I love the font that they use at Daphne's Diary. I'm just going to put this down on the page all the way down. Not a pocket. And since it's not the full story that we're getting, we're going to cover up some of this. And I'm not even going to ink that. I like it just like that. So we're going to use our liquid glue. Put some around on this. And get that put down on the edge of our script paper. And I like to, when I'm covering up things like this, I like to cover up the corner. So I move it around to wherever I need to get that a corner covered up. I just like that look. Pretty. So there is the back 2 pages. Let's go back this way. We're going to leave this one. Beautiful. I'll leave that too. We can cover it up later however we would like. And that's a nice sturdy page now. Beautiful. A little tag down in there. Big tags down in that big pocket. That's our one and only big pocket we have made so far. And I think I'm pretty close to being done decorating. Leaving this page. Probably need to do something on this page. Back here we did something on this page. It would be nice if we could do a little something on this one. What if... Oh, I kind of like that. Just put a little bit of that book page there and a little bit of washi on the side of it. That could be that one. And then we could make this a little tuck. I've got the little torn edges from the tear ruler. So it's got that little deckled edge to it. And we could make this a little tuck or just a little pocket. Yeah, let's make it just a little pocket. And then we could even put a little word label or something on top of it. And I'm going to put it all the way to the edge. And then just like that, we have a little pocket. And let's add, I like this, live simply, give generously. Great words to live by. It's not straight, but I don't care. Alright, so there's another little pocket made there. I'm not going to do anything to this paper. This one, I'm just going to ink around the edges. I drank coffee before I started this video. And, of course, I had a little bit of cream in it. And it's got my throat all cloggy. So that's why I'm having to clear my throat so much. Alright, put that there. And a little piece of the washi tape that we've been using throughout the journal. And that, just kind of like a floating tulip. We can add that there. And that kind of gives you that rule of 3. You've got 1, 2, 3. And it makes for a nice little cluster. And those colors go along with that paper there. So there's that decorated. We got our T pages. Got the center page with that pocket there. That's so busy. I don't really want to add anything else to it unless somebody wanted to come along and add, you know, a piece of cardstock a little bit thicker and just have this as the mat behind, and they could have some more writing surface if they wanted it. There's this little tag to put down in there. We got more tulips here, our little flip out there, and then we've got just our plain pages here that I don't know that I want to do anything to. I kind of like that though. We could just add that there and nothing else, and then our other little teapot there, that will work. And I'm not going to ink anything, just going to add that on as decoration and try to get a little bit of glue on the stem there so it all fits nicely. It doesn't go anywhere. That doesn't cover up too much stuff on that beautiful floral paper, so I'm good with that. Alright, there's just some decoration on those pages. We thought we would just leave plain. Okay, I'm thinking that this shovel is just going to go in one of those front or back pockets. So we've got a little tuck, mid-page tuck here. We've got a flip up here. Cute. And then we've got that bottom tuck here. And then we've got a top tuck here with that beautiful bird on it. I love that. And then we've got that poem here with the rooster. Cute little page. We have, this page is a little wonky. There we go. That's better. Our little belly band here with a postcard back behind it. And our tuck spot on the side of the page there with another postcard in it. Like my most favorite pages out of the whole journal. And then the other spot of that, I think I pulled a little too hard a while ago when I was moving pages around. And then just a little simple decoration on there, because remember, we didn't want to cover up these beautiful sails we got when we dyed this paper. Then there's another little tuck spot that we could add a tag to if we wanted to, or a little smaller piece of something added in there. And then that one is just for reading and decoration. Nothing really could be written on there, I don't think. And since that is plants and pots, I'm going to add that shovel down in there somehow. Maybe we should add the shovel this way, if it will stay. I like that. And then we could add some tags and things in with it. Even add this shovel in this way. Cute. Just like that. And then come all the way to the back. And we can add in a couple of more tags that we've made back here. And of course we'll need to make them tag shape. And let's go through if there's something in here that doesn't have a tag or something. We can add it in. Ooh, since that one's that color, let's go with a craft color on that page. We've got tags in that one. We've got a tag in that, but it can stand another one too. That's just a little tuck, so yeah, we could get more in there if we wanted to. Another tag in that tuck space. We've got a tag there. Let's add another one. We could do a large one in there too. I love that. And maybe do that one this way. We could have 3 in that one little pocket there. I love that. And of course, like I said, go through and decorate them the way you would like. Then our flip out there. We could always hide stuff back behind that too if we wanted to, and paper clip it in on the pages. Okay, there's that. Alright, we've got this tuck here that we need to add something to. I like that. Just randomly putting that in there that way. Our flip up there. We've got card in there and here. Oh, I just love this little junk journal. Love it. Even though I'm moving the pages around. That is a little drawback. The pages do move around. So, whomever gets this journal may want to sew in the signature. I'm going to leave that up to them. I will have this up for sale in the shop, so be looking for that. Oh, I love it. Okay, so there is our cover. And then we have this goodness falling out of it from the tags that we've made. And we'll have a few more coming out too whenever we finish the other tags. Look at that butterfly that we altered from that digital. And then there is the openness of it. Look at those pages. How beautiful. I love that. This turned out to be one of the cuter journals that I've ever made. And thank you, Daphne's Diary, for sending me the April edition 2022. I loved it. I love all the spring aspects of it. And I love how this has turned out. So thank you so much for sending it to me. I appreciate it so much. And I love what I've made with it. Y'all have a great day. I will see you in the next video. God bless. Bye, y'all.